Welcome back to Cox Connections, exclusively on Cox 9 Roanoke. I'm Kim Stanley. For families and children in crisis, for individuals coping with mental health and substance abuse issues, the National Counseling Group is there in locations across the state with what is called community-based care. Here to talk to us about what that means and how it's helping people in Roanoke Valley is Alani Francis, community-based counselor, and Kelly Athey, parent, trainer, case manager for therapeutic foster care, both from the National Counseling Group. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Well, Alani, why don't you tell us a little bit about the National Counseling Group, the basics of it, your mission?
Okay. Well, National Counseling Group was founded by social worker Thomas Minnick in 1993. And our mission is to alleviate suffering and improve lives. And the way that we do that is by meeting the needs of families who are in risk and their children have behavioral and emotional challenges that impair their everyday functioning. And we also service chronically ill adults who have trouble with maintaining independent living skills. And we have over 18 offices in the state of Virginia, and we are one of the largest mental health providers.
Wow, in the state?
In the state, okay. Correct.
And then one location here in Roanoke,
yes,
or multiple
ma'am.
locations? Here
in the Roanoke area, we service Salem, Roanoke County, Roanoke City, as well as the Montgomery County.
Wow, wow. What is community-based care? I've been hearing a lot about that. What exactly is that?
Community-based care is treating children and families within the community and using a less restrictive alternative to maintain them here within the community instead of looking at alternative placements such as a residential facility or a long-term care placement.
So it's actually allowing the family to remain in the home?
Yes.
Okay. And
what we actually do as community-based counselors, we meet the clients where they are. So instead of traditional counseling where a lot of times the clients would come to the therapist or come to an office, we meet the families in their home setting where they're most comfortable, and we can actually get a good gauge as to the home dynamics, as well as help provide them with resources so that once we are no longer working with them, they can continue to build upon the skills with the resources that we've helped to link them with.
Right. And that's got to be beneficial, keeping them in that everyday environment, because sooner or later they have to go back into that environment to function.
They do, absolutely. Yeah. And it helps build upon the strengths that they already have within their environment and within the community that they already have.
And it's treating the entire family. Because is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Oftentimes you may have, it's the one person who has the mental health challenge or things like that, but it really affects that entire family.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's great. All right, talk to me a little bit about, and I'm going to have to look at this, MultiSystemic and StrengthBased model.
Okay.
Explain to our viewers.
Sure. Well, you touched a little bit on the MultiSystemic, talking about the systems that the kids or their families are in and treating them within the community with a less restrictive placement.
Okay.
And addressing all the systems that involve the family. Like you said, it may be one part that causes the illness, but it affects multiple variables throughout their life. If you have a child who has problems in the home, the school system may be affected, the legal system may be affected, and we want to be able to treat all of those as one big component.
Okay.
The strength-based model is also where you're taking and building upon the strengths that a family already has. You're looking at what they already have around them to support them within their community and continue to build upon that.
Okay.
To have building blocks and to further their mental health needs and to better where they are.
Okay, okay. And then in addition to all of that, you guys also provide a therapeutic foster care for children as well.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
How do you do that? I mean, there's just so many things. There's so many things that you touch. It's just truly remarkable.
We have very long reaching arms within the community. Therapeutic foster care is where we specially train parents to work with children with mental health needs who have either mental health, behavioral, legal involvement, and they're not able to maintain in their own home for whatever the reason may be. And we continue to find foster placements for them and provide appropriate services to maintain them in the community to prevent them from being in more restrictive placement.
Okay, all right. So is that, like identifying a temporary environment for them?
Some of them are temporary, some
Okay.
of them are long-term placements.
Okay.
It just depends on the need of each child. Some children have the goal of returning home to their parents after a very short time. Some of them have a longer-term goal of independent living, to stay in foster care, to reach the goal of independent living, where they learn skills that they will be able to use on their own throughout the time.
Okay. How are children referred to you? How do they?
Well, we have all kinds of different referral sources. It can be from probation officers, from courts, from schools, from neighbors. Once people understand what services we provide, they're able to make those referrals. We get referrals all type of different ways. Sometimes when we have clients and they've ended their services and say, hey, this has been great, we know someone else who's in need, we get it that way as well.
Okay, that's great. And then how do adults become involved to be foster parents? I hear so many people always say, oh, I'd like to do that, but I don't think they know how to get in touch with an organization to become a foster parent.
Well, certainly, and there is such a great need for people who are dedicated and wanted to be foster parents. You can certainly look us up on our website. It can give you all of our contact information, and that's www.nationalcounselinggroup.com. Or you can call our Roanoke office, which is 540-776-0617. You can ask for myself, Kelly Athey, and I can certainly help anybody who is interested in becoming a foster parent along that path.
That's great. That's wonderful. Any other opportunities for people to get involved, or is it mainly, when you think about volunteerism or being a part of your organization, is it through the foster care program, or are there other opportunities as well?
Right now, the main need we have is for foster parents.
Okay.
If somebody has an interest in volunteering, they can certainly contact our office, and we can look and see what's available at that time and the needs that we may have.
Okay.
And one thing National Counseling Group we pride ourselves in is not only educating the mental health community, but also just the general public. And so we do offer trainings at times, and so that's something that we would like the community to be aware of, because we look to not just service our clients, but the community that we're stationed in. So just to broaden the knowledge, because mental health affects our lives in all kinds of different ways, whether it's a family member, a friend, or your child's friend, just making sure that you're aware as to what's going on and how to handle different issues or just things that affect you personally, how you can best cope with those things. So that's another thing, if the public is interested in, we love to hear what are some of those needs and how we can address them.
Okay, that's great feedback, because it really does. It affects coworkers. It really does affect everyone who touches that individual. And I just think this is such a great program, because you're really educating people on how to deal with this in their own environment. And so I applaud both of you for coming on the show and for doing this.
Well, thank you so
Thanks
much
so much for having us.
Thank you both.
It's been our pleasure.
Coming up after the break, the Rescue Mission is the beneficiary of many hours of volunteer service of a longtime Cox employee. Stay with us.